Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in today. So in today's video, I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. I'm not gonna talk about being blind or any of that stuff. I'll be honest with you guys, sometimes it gets a little exhausting for me to share so much with you guys. It's not bad and I don't mind doing it. You know, I love doing it and I enjoy it, and it's why I started this channel in the first place. But it is a little bit exhausting, you know, especially emotionally. I could say it's emotionally draining, right? Because I'm sharing with you guys things that I dealt with, right? And perhaps it's been years since, you know, certain things, since I dealt with some of these things. But because I'm sharing it with you guys and because I'm trying to get to the emotions I felt at that time, sometimes it could get a little real or in a way, not reliving it, but you know, those emotions kind of get to me. And when I finish the videos, I find myself like, you know, a little tense, a little anxious, and I'm like, you know, what is this? So, you know, to take a break here and there, I decided to share some funny stories with you guys, whether it is from my childhood or maybe from my adulthood or maybe from college, maybe from, you know, random things that happened to me. Not all of them have to do with being blind or, you know, losing vision or not seeing something. Like in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys about my childhood, right? I was a very clumsy kid. You know, my mom could tell you, my older sister can tell you, I was always adventurous, but I would also get into trouble a lot of times, right? So without any more explanation or making this video any longer, we're gonna get straight into the first story. So as I mentioned, I was very, very clumsy, or I call myself adventurous. I was adventurous and I knew how to have fun. So when we were little, my older sister and myself, I believe when I was, I want to say it was when I was in kindergarten, or so, my older sister and me, we had these little plastic tables, right? Hers was white and I believe mine was blue. And there were small plastic tables, those, you know, the ones that kids usually have, with those plastic chairs or whatnot. And so one day I was bored and I decided to see if I can jump across the two tables, right? I don't know why that idea came to my head. Another thing, I was chubby when I was little. Like I was this little chubby cheeks, just little fat little kid, right? And so what I decided to do was I put my table in front of a chair, like a big tall chair, like a real person's chair. And I got on top of the chair and I decided to see if I could jump over my table, right? And lo and behold, I jumped and I did it, right? And I was like, too easy. So I grabbed my sister's table and I put it next to mine. But then me being smart, I switch it and I put my sister's table next to the chair and then my table, right? So it's chair, white table, blue table, right? And so I get on top of the chair and I'm like, all right, you know, let's see if I can make it across. So again, I'm this little chubby dude and I didn't realize that the white table was a little further than I had placed the blue table before. So when I jumped, I actually had to step on the white table to go to the blue table, right? To jump over the blue table. But guess what happened? When I stepped on the white table, I went straight through the plastic, and basically the table stayed like a dress, you know. It went like right across my stomach. So I started crying and I started screaming, and my mom runs into the room, and I'm like standing there in the middle of the white plastic table. And it was funny because my sister came in and, well, she started crying because it was her table. It wasn't mine. So yeah, so I think she started hating me since then. No. But anyways, we move on to the next story. My favorite movie at the time was Casper the Friendly Ghost. That was my favorite movie and I always wanted to watch it, right? So I believe in this day, my mom was cooking. She was in the kitchen, you know, busy. And I would go to the kitchen. I'd be like, Mom, can you put the movie for me? And she would be like, wait, you know, until I finish cooking, I'll go do it. Just wait. So I was impatient and I grabbed the chair. And so I grabbed a chair and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it myself. And at the time we had the TV on top of this other dresser. And on top of the TV, that's where the VHS was, right? So I had to reach all the way up there to put the VHS. So I grabbed the chair, put it in front of the dresser, and so I'm trying to put my movie, you know, I'm tippy-toeing, you know, this little fat chubby kid just tippy-toeing, trying to put the movie in. When all of a sudden I slip and I throw my hand back and I fall on the ground, just make a big banging noise, and my mom comes running in because I'm crying, and I'm just crying, and then my sisters, they're like, you know, why is he crying? And then my mom's like, you know, where does it hurt? Where does it hurt? And I'm just crying. And then she's like, Diego, like, where does it hurt? And then I'm like, my movie, Mom. You know, Casper. I broke Casper. She's like, what are you talking about? So when I fell, and I threw my hand back, I actually put the movie underneath me, so I fell on top of the movie and I cracked it, and I basically broke my Casper movie. So I wasn't crying because I was hurt. I was crying because I broke my goddamn favorite movie. So like, you know, I was crying because of my movie. And so, you know, till this day, my sister still makes fun of me because of that. She's like, really, Diego, you were crying because of your movie? And I was like, you don't understand. That was my favorite movie. How would you feel if we broke your movie? No. Especially if you broke your own favorite movie, right? But anyway, this last story, you know, I was a little troublemaker. We're in kindergarten and I'm in class, right? And at the time I went to a school, well, it doesn't really matter. And so when I was in kindergarten, when they would give us lunch, they would always bring half and half, right? So whatever, 2 different things, right? So at this day, they gave us Sloppy Joe and hot dogs, right? And so I hate Sloppy Joe. I don't know who likes Sloppy Joe, but I hated it, right? Since I was in kindergarten. So we get in line and I'm going up to the line and, you know, I see that the last hot dog is there and I got it, right? So I grabbed the last hot dog and I turned around to go back to my seat. When this other chubby dude comes up to me and he's like, I want the hot dog. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, buddy, but I got the last one. No, of course I didn't talk like that. But anyways, I was like, you know, what's mine? And so he grabs the little box where the hot dog comes in and he starts pulling it, right? So he won't let go. So I decide to bite his finger, right? So I bite his finger and he starts crying, right? And I start freaking out and I'm like, oh shit, you know, what do I do? What do I do? So I said, you know what, here, you can have the hot dog. Just stop crying. And I got in trouble. And, you know, it was like an embarrassing moment because then I got sent to the office. I didn't even get to eat lunch. No, I got sent to the office. And, you know, I think at that time my mom was in labor. And so we had a babysitter. So the babysitter comes in and, you know, I'm not talking to the principal because the principal was like, why did you bite the kid? And I wasn't talking, you know, I was like, nope, I'm not gonna say anything. And then the babysitter starts talking to me and she's like, you know, Diego, well, you know, why did you bite the kid? Blah, 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 you know, you made him cry. And then I was like, because he tried to take away my hot dog. And so the babysitter kind of started, you know, I guess she kind of like laughed a little bit because I guess it was funny, but they don't understand how frustrated I was that he was trying to take away my hot dog, you know? And so, you know, when they told my mom that, they were like, but Diego, you got hot dogs at home. We can make you hot dogs. Like, why would you bite them because of the hot dog? And I was like, no, I did it for justice. But anyway, those are the stories I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed all of them, if not at least one of them. And I will have a new video for you guys up soon. And if you guys would like to share any funny stories that happened in your childhood, by all means, go ahead and leave them down below. I would love to hear some of them. Till next time.